Hey there, my name is Anna DiGilio. I'm the founder and CEO of Guided Readers, and our mission at Guided Readers is to successfully guide students from learning the English code to reading for meaning. So today, what I'd love to do is I'd like to give you a closer look into a portion of our brand new Structured Literacy with Ease program. And that EASE stands for Explicit and Systematic Essentials. It's a phonics and word study program completely aligned to the science of reading. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to share my screen with you and show you just one part of our program, Structured Literacy with Ease, to give you a little bit of a deeper understanding of how we created the program. And our program ensures that we are addressing all strands of Scarborough's reading route. So what I'd like to do right now is share my screen with you and give you a little bit of a deeper look into one portion of our brand new Structured Literacy with Ease program. Let's jump into the sample lesson that we provided to you today within this email. Before we jump into the actual lesson, I just want to explain the 4 different types of lessons that are included in our Structured Literacy with Ease program. We have isolated sounds lessons. We have spelling rules lessons because we go over different spelling rules. We teach affixes, prefixes, and suffixes. And of course, we go into detail and has very specific lessons on syllable types and division rules as well. So those are the 4 different types of lessons that you will see in our program. In last week's video, we showed you an example of an isolated sounds lesson. So today, we're going to show you a sample of a spelling rules lesson. Our spelling rules lessons are 4-day lessons, and each day begins with a phonological awareness auditory warm-up. So each day starts with phonological awareness. Then we move into introducing our new high frequency words through phoneme grapheme mapping. Whenever we are introducing a new skill, like a spelling rules or an isolated sounds, everything is through phoneme grapheme mapping. So this again is day 1. Then we are going to introduce the focus spelling rule for this lesson. And then we go into an activity called Map Its. Again, this is focusing on phoneme grapheme mapping, but this time we're focusing on words that are directly aligned to the spelling rule that we're teaching in this particular lesson. So in the beginning of the lesson, we're mapping high frequency words, and on this part of the lesson, we're mapping the specific words that focus the phonics sound, or in this case, the spelling rule in the lesson. And then we go on to our scaffolded application of the skill where we're going into decoding. And in this part, we're decoding phonemes, words, phrases, and sentences. And then last part, we scaffold the application of the skill through encoding where they're writing a dictated sentence. So that's day 1. Now let's jump into day 2, a quick overview of day 2. Again, we have a phonological awareness auditory warm-up. We now will review the new high frequency words that we just explicitly taught in day 1 of the lesson. So now we're reviewing those high frequency words again through phoneme grapheme mapping. Then we're going to review that phonics, the focus spelling rule for this lesson, because this is a spelling rules lesson, focusing on that final CK digraph, that sound that is spelled with the k sound. And then, of course, we go into our word chaining activity. Now, this is where we're going to be building words based on explicitly taught sound symbols, which allows for that orthographic mapping to occur in the brain, which then builds a student's orthographic lexicon. And then again, we're going to that scaffolding application of the skill where we're focusing on decoding, utilizing our decodable book. So in this particular lesson, we were focusing on that CK digraph, and this book is called A Stuck Duck. So we're really focusing on bringing in that skill within our decodable book. But remember, all of our decodable books scaffold from one lesson to the next and spiral in skills. So everything the students have learned up to this point through the sound sequence and sequence 1, because this is a sequence 2 lesson, will be included in this book. So we're going to add all of those high frequency words they've already taught and they've already phoneme grapheme mapped. And we're going to bring in the focused phonics sounds and phonics words that they already taught. So everything is spiraled in the program. And then the last part of a day 2 lesson is, again, that scaffolded application of the skill, where we're focusing on encoding and they're writing words with the focused spelling rule for this particular lesson. And then we move into day 3. Again, day 3 starts with the phonological awareness warm-up. We are again, each of those days we're focusing on a different type of phonological awareness activity. The activities get a little bit more difficult with each day. As we're moving into day 3, we're focusing on phoneme segmentation, phoneme blending, and phoneme substitution, those higher level phonological awareness skills. Again, we review the high frequency words from the first and second day through a different activity where they're going to focus on different typefaces or fonts that they may encounter in their reading and in their introduction to words in general in the world, whether they be on signs or billboards or on the internet or in books. We want to show them different typefaces. Then, of course, we're going to review the spelling skill that we taught. Again, we're going to focus on phoneme grapheme mapping to build up their orthographic lexicon. And then again, now we're going to scaffold those skills in decoding. And the way we do that is through nonsense word reading. And we'll either do a second reading of the decodable book or we'll finish the first reading from the day prior. And again, another application of the skill where they're going to apply their encoding skills through a dictation sentence. And then we move into day 4, again, that final phonological awareness auditory warm-up. And now we're doing a formative assessment. Now we're going to do a quick check of the skill mastery. So the skill for this particular lesson was a spelling rule on that digraph CK, which makes the k sound. So then we do a formative assessment, and then we review the focus spelling rule for this particular lesson. And this is where our program differs from many programs out there that are aligned to the science of reading. We're focusing on bringing in comprehension skills and vocabulary development, something that we ensure because we want to make sure that our program focuses on all strands of Scarborough's reading room. So as you can see in this particular lesson, we're focusing on cause and effect that directly align to the decodable book that the students read. And we will ask an inferring question because we want students to continue using those inferring skills when they read. It's a very important skill for them to develop. And then, of course, we want to bring in vocabulary development. So we'll bring in 2 specific words from the story to teach that vocabulary skill. Now, let's look at that word pollution. Now, the word pollution was not in our decodable book. And the reason being is that they haven't explicitly learned those sounds within the word pollution in order for that word to be in this book. But what we do is we bring this word in and we align it to the words that are in the decodable book. So we're focusing on synonyms and using synonyms to bring other vocabulary instruction into the story, which is very, very important, and of course into the instruction. So we address all strands of Scarborough's reading rope within our program. So this was just a very quick walkthrough of Sequence 2, Lesson 2, which was a spelling rules lesson as part of our Structured Literacy with Ease program. So we truly hope you enjoyed this quick walkthrough of another lesson within our Structured Literacy with Ease program. And stay on the lookout because we're going to be sharing the next 2 lessons over the next couple of weeks. One is going to be our affixes lesson, and the last one will be our lesson on syllable types and division rules. So we're very excited to share the rest of the different types of lessons that you'll find within Structured Literacy with Ease. Thanks so much for watching.